Hello students. In this session we will see problem statement related to our groceries inventory data. So I have given you a problem statement where a very simple Python code we have to write down where we can store first of all existing data for our grocery store. Okay, and then we have to check what are the customer demands. This is also given to you, and this particular section defines what we have to display in front of our customer. So whatever we are going to define the list or variables or anything, everything is for our backend purpose. Only whatever is going to be displayed for customer, that will be the front end. Okay, so let us start with the session, and we just have to first of all define the problem statement in the similar way, so that once you start building your Python code, so anyone who will watch this video or check this code even without the video, he or she should understand whatever is written inside the code. That particular Python code is called as self-sufficient code. Okay, let us start. So first of all, I'm going to start with defining the list. So first I will write down here defining a list for displaying all the items available in our store. Okay, so I'm going to define that I have already written over here. So let us define that available groceries, let's say. Okay, and then I have to define a list. So I'll define in a format of square bracket, of course. Okay, so this is how you define a empty list. But our list should not be empty. Why? Because we are already given with the data. So rice, wheat, dal, all these things are already existing items in our store. These are the items which we are already selling. So let us define that all. So I have just writing that rice, wheat, dal. Okay, you have to do the similar thing what I am doing. Okay, the capital letter, small letter doesn't matter over here because all these things are the string currently. So I'm not taking care of writing the capital letters or anything else. Okay, so this will help me to remember that everything is in the small letters only, and I need not have to always go upside and check everything is in small letter, capital letter, or camel case. Okay, so sugar, tea powder, sugar, and it's about tea powder. When we are talking about rajma, edible oil, and spices. Rajma, edible oil, and spices. Okay, all right. So this is how we have defined all our items inside our groceries, available groceries list. So this is my groceries list. I can show it to you. So this is the list where all the items are written, like rice, wheat, dal, whichever are available. So I will just write down over here that I have defined. So this is the list showing all the available items. Okay, all right. So it might be like over communication for you, like I am writing each and every comment, but it's always better to have over communication rather than going with the less communication. Okay, so I'm writing this down. So this is how I have defined the list. Similar way I can just go ahead and make a list of what is the customer demand. Okay, so I don't want to use the same thing. Customer demand, we are going to make a list, and of course the list is defined with the square brackets. So whatever are written inside this particular data, coffee powder, turmeric powder, everything that we are going to write over here. So coffee powder. So this is for only example, this is not a any kind of genuine data. It's all for the, what we can say, only academic and educational data. So you can take any kind of examples, any number of examples, okay, for taking the items inside your list. Okay, I've just taken by my random. All right. So rice, tea powder, spices is also there. Rice, tea powder, and we do have spices, right? And then we have something edible oil, sugar, groundnut, edible oil, sugar, and groundnut. All right. And I guess one more thing, tur dal. So whatever the atoms might be, doesn't matter us a lot because all these things are string, and we are not here to, you know, check out what are the atoms. We are here to see that how a list is defined and what do we do after defining a list. So this is how we have defined a list, and here also I will write this is the list where we have listed what are our customer expecting from us. Okay, so we have just collected, just assume that we have collected anyhow this particular customer demand data, and we got to know these are the list. Now, first thing we have cleared, right, displaying the available groceries. Let us display available groceries and customer demands in a one single line. So using the print function already we have discussed in our previous sessions how we can go ahead. So I'll just write down these are available groceries. Okay, so these are available groceries, and now here I am going to print whatever this particular available groceries are there. Okay, so I just wanted to show that if you define a big name of your list, so you have to always copy paste, or it will take time to write it down individually. Correct. Even if I want to, specify what is going to, just 1 minute, I am writing here 0 so that my first index number will be there, and square bracket should be closed, simple bracket should be closed, and this these are the available list. Now I was telling you available groceries, this much big name we have defined to our list. So you should not write this much big name. Either you can, define short forms AG. This can also you can write, or customer demand is just CD, or something like CUST, customer underscore demand. Okay, just use short forms. Here just to describe you much better, I have used a longer choice of my list. Okay, you don't have to do that thing. So what traditional method we have seen about showing all the elements currently is I'm going to print all these things in the available. Okay, if I don't know any advanced Python, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down index number of each and every item to show it. If I want to show rice, I will write 0, because in Python indexing starts with 0. What do you mean by indexing? The position of that item. So rice is at 0th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the similar way, if I want to show rice, what I will do, I will use this much syntax. Available groceries. In square bracket, I will write 0. So rice will be displayed. Then I will write 1. Okay, I just wanted to know how many elements are there. So that also I will show you how to check that. And I guess something issue with this. So this part you can just fast forward or do, skip the part, but this is just a representation that how you are going to write down or show it at a time. So we are also going to learn about how you are going to use for loop, so that it will make your task easier to display all the elements without consuming your lot of time, space, efforts. All right. So these are the things. Now you can see that there are available groceries. So I will give just here semicolon. Okay. So it's up to me that how I am going to, showcase all these things. Yeah. So I just wanted to show like these are available groceries like rice, wheat, dal, moong dal, groundnut, sugar, and rajma. Till rajma it's written. Now let us see. Two more are remaining. So what I will do is I will quickly copy paste the same thing. Get it down. 8 over here. right? And then again one time 9 over here, so total 10 elements are there, but index value 9 is only there. Why? Because it starts with 0. So now all the available list is stored over here, this is displayed over here, right? So first thing is clear with us, like we have displayed all the available groceries. Now to display the frequently bought items, we don't have any kind of data as such currently given inside our problem statement. So we'll just define any kind of list. Okay, so we'll first justify why we are going to assume frequently bought items. Okay, we don't have any kind of data. We do not have any specific data for, you know, frequently bought groceries from our store, and hence let us assume some atoms and define a new list. Okay, so we are going to just define a new list. So I'm even mentioning down all the comments that what I'm thinking currently. So I will define a list of, let's say, frequently bought items. Okay, so I'm just defining FBI. Now you are might be aware like why we are going to use short forms. Okay, otherwise I can also write frequently and then bought. Okay, this much only. So I can even write like this, whatever you want. Just you just have to make sure that you don't, write down too much of things. And let's say now I've already assumed, let us assume, like, I already written over here, like we don't have any frequently bought data set, no one has specified in our problem statement. So what I'm going to do, assume. So whatever items I think, like rice, okay, or sugar, okay, these are my already in demand or frequently bought items. So why I'm going to display this thing, print, and then again these are frequently bought items from our store. So this might be, you know, most frequently bought items from our stores by the customer. So we are just going to show that these are the items which people love to buy from our store. Like what are that items? So that items are print function, we are going to use it. And then what is that, this particular list we have to show two different index numbers, 0, correct, rice, and same thing with, and same thing with index number 1. All right, so now you can see that I have created a list. This is what is expected currently from this problem statement. Now you might have a question like, sir, I don't want to use this many print functions, is there any easier way? I don't want to use like this, even 2 or 3 different kind of print function, is there any easier way for this? So slowly we are going to learn about the for loop. So I hope in the next session you will be clear with the for loop. This is the code which I have given you, the problem statement is given to understand importance of that for loop. Like if we are using for loop, why we are using, because there are lot many of steps we have to do if we don't use the for loop. Once we are aware about this particular step, then now we have understood to eliminate this many number of codes, we have to use something else, and that function or that particular syntax we are going to use in terms of for loop. Okay, slowly we are going to learn about all the kinds of different kind of loop. So see you in the next session. Thank you.